So array can be of a two types, either a one dimension array or a two dimension array, depends on the which sort of program you are making. Okay, so suppose you want to create an array, so you need to be careful that what sort of array you are dealing with. So just like last time we have seen that shift registers don't have any specific data types. शिफ्ट रजिस्टर का कोई डेटा टाइप नहीं होता है. शिफ्ट रजिस्टर में जो वायर हम कनेक्ट करते हैं वो उसका डेटा टाइप हो जाता है. लाइक अ शिफ्ट रजिस्टर कैन बी ऑफ एनालॉग, कैन बी ऑफ अ डिजिटल, कैन बी ऑफ a string also. Okay, so now here also the same concept is applied to the arrays. Arrays don't have any data type. Okay, so we can't say that ये एक एनालॉग एरे है या डिजिटल एरे है या स्ट्रिंग का एरे है. ऐसा नहीं है. एरे है, एरे में आप जिस तरह का डेटा डालेंगे वो उस तरह का डेटा टाइप एक्सेप्ट करेगा. फॉर एन एग्जांपल आई विल शो यू हाउ टू क्रिएट एन एरे, and then we will decide that if there is some data type is there. Okay, so okay, so let's see that. Here, right click on the front panel. Okay, you need to right click on the front panel and go to data containers. Okay, so just below the numeric you will find the data containers. Right click on the front panel and go to data containers. See, numeric के just नीचे आपको data containers मिलेगा. Now there is a array is there, cluster is there. See, there is a real matrix, complex matrix, multiple array related things are there. Okay, so in this case we can select an array. Okay, so here we can select an data containers, we can select an array. This array just drag and drop on your front panel. Okay, so one array is selected and I can drag and drop, I can increase its dimensions. So one array is being created on my front panel. Now I press a Control E and see that this array is of the black color. So that specifies as such it doesn't have any data type. It's waiting for a certain data type to be given to it, either in a boolean, either a analog or a text or a waveform graphs charts. Okay, so it doesn't have any data types. Now the interesting thing is how you create an array. Okay, it's little bit difficult compared to just putting a shift register. In shift register we right click and add shift registers on the loop, but here see that this in array is there. Now right click, go to numeric. Okay, so I am trying to create an analog array control. Okay, so here we right click, go to numeric, and in the numeric we go to numeric control. Okay, now in this numeric control just drag and drop this numeric control inside this gray color window. Okay, carefully see what I am doing here. This numeric control and drag and drop inside this gray color window. Now this is done. Okay, so now this becomes an array. Now you want to increase its size, just drag it from below. Just drag it, just expand this. So 1 2 3 4 5 6, some arrays I have actually created. Okay, so मैं फिर से ये मेथड बता रहा हूँ. Just I'm right click, go to data containers पे जाएंगे, then select an array. First row, first column, you will find an array. Just drag and drop, put it somewhere on the front panel. Once you put it on the front panel, see array 2 is being created. Okay, now do you see this gray color window, a blank gray color window? Now go to numeric control, go to numeric, select a numeric control and drag and drop this numeric control over here. Okay, and just stretch it below. Okay, so this is a creation of an array. You can reduce its shape. Okay, Now, which type of array it is? These two are arrays of analog data type. Okay. Another thing, these two are controls. Now see that the array 1 and array 2 are being created. They now have an orange color. The orange color signifies the analog data type. Okay. And see that there is a wire, there is an arrow on the right hand side. The wiring is on the right hand side. That shows that it is a control, because these are two are control. Now to be specific, I will just reduce it to 5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here also, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now these two arrays are there. I can write it as array 1 and this is an array 2. अभी आपको दो arrays बने, ओके आपको इसका रिजल्ट, आपको इसके ऊपर कुछ ऑपरेशन करना है. ओके द ऑपरेशन कैन बी अ मल्टीप्लाई, ऑपरेशन कैन बी अ डिवाइड, ऐड, सबट्रैक्ट, anything, any operation you want to perform. You want to do some data manipulation of these arrays, that is also a possible. So now I am having a two arrays. I want to perform some operation. So let's do a multiply. Okay, so multiply अगर हम दोनों का arrays करेंगे, पहले we can put a value, like the first one is 0, so I can put it as a 1. I can write it here 3, right here 5, 10. Let's write it here -6. Okay, here also I can write it -4, 6, 7, 2, -5. Some values I have written. So now see that there are certain data types, certain data values that we can give, and now there is an one-dimensional array of 5 elements, array 1. Array 2 is also one-dimensional array of 5 elements. Okay, now any operation I wanted to perform, let's multiply these two arrays. Now press Ctrl E. Okay, now what we will do, we will multiply these two. So we will select a multiplier. Where to find a multiplier? We go to numeric, second row, first column. Go to numeric, select a multiplier, add, subtract, and then there is a multiplier. Just drag and drop, put it somewhere over here. Okay, we can label it. Okay, now interesting about multiply is there is a two inputs, x and y, and output is given as x multiplied by y. So it's a very straightforward. Connect your x input like this. Connect your y input to array 2 like this. Now see the difference between an array wire and a normal wire. Just I will show with an example here. Here I create two indicators, a numeric control. I create one numeric control and I create another numeric control. Just I am showing a difference, okay? Okay, यहाँ पे मैंने दो numbers create किए हैं, numeric 1 and numeric 2. Okay, two controls हैं. Okay, this number let it be 10, this number let it be 5. Okay, now I press Ctrl E. I got a numeric 1 and numeric 2. अभी मैं इन दोनों को multiply करता हूँ. Just see, numeric, I go to multiply. Okay. Now, did you notice anything? Anything different? When I multiply two arrays and when I multiply two normal numbers, you see the thickness of wires. In the first case, the thickness of wire is high. Okay, it's a much thicker wire, orange wire. And if you see this second one, okay, you see the thickness of wire is very, very low. So it shows that array thickness of wire automatically changes. Then which sort of data is it? See, orange color signifies that there is an analog data. Okay, but whether it's a one dimension or two dimension, that also we can actually determine with a thickness of the wire. Okay, so I don't need this. I will just delete this thing. I will select this and I press a delete button. It's gone on the front panel also. Now I have a two multiply, array 1 and array 2. I need another array, but in that array, can I put a control? No, that has to be an indicator. I press Ctrl E. Okay, and here I will make another array. I will go to data containers. In the data containers, okay, I will go to arrays, and here in the arrays I'll just drag and drop. Okay, and here I can drag and drop a numeric indicator. न्यूमेरिक इंडिकेटर सिलेक्ट करेंगे, न्यूमेरिक में जाके अभी कंट्रोल नहीं सिलेक्ट करना है, इंडिकेटर सिलेक्ट करना है, एंड जस्ट ड्रैग इट इनसाइड दिस एरे, राइट ऑन इट एज अ मल्टीप्लाई रिजल्ट. I can zoom it with this font. Okay, looks much more simpler now. This is array 1. Array 1 is there. Array 2 is there. These two arrays are multiplying, and a result is given to a multiplier result. See, the thickness of array is again changed because it's a one-dimensional array. So it's a set of data, a set of data. Okay, so now nothing is remaining in this particular program. We can easily run this program. Press Ctrl E, move to your front panel, and okay, someone is asking a question. So there is a multiply array element. Why we are not using it? Yes, sir. We can use a multiply array element also. But multiply array elements means if there is a specific operation related to, like you want to have an index of this array, multiply with another index of that array, then there are other functions also. Yes, sir. We can actually use that. No problem. See, so many functions are there in this library files. So for a basic understanding, let's do a simple multiply. So this is a simple multiply. Now run this program. See, this is the result. 1 multiplied by -4 is -4. 3 multiplied by 6 is 18. 5 multiplied by 7 is 35. 10 multiplied by 2 is 20. -6 multiplied by -5 is +30. See, this is an array multiplication. So instead of having a data 5, 6 number times, then it's easy to have create an array and do a multiply. So see, similarly, we can do a subtract, divide, plus whatever we wanted to do. The beauty of using an array is not only a numbers, but we can play with so many indicators, so many meters, graphs, multiple things actually it's possible. Okay. So I think someone from the participants asked me that when I was doing a factorial of a number, whether it's possible to plot it. Okay. So whether it was possible to plot that factorial on in the tabular format. So see, this is the tabular format. Okay, and I'm having that example again. So I think this was the question. I give a number and number of iterations were given. I have to find a factorial and I have to find a sum of numbers. अच्छा, यही प्रोग्राम हम देखते हैं जो हमने shift registers के थ्रू किया था. Press Ctrl E. See, this was the program that we have done last time. Okay, how it was done? I had a for loop. For loop runs for a number of times. जो भी नंबर मुझे देना है, जिस भी नंबर का मुझे फैक्टोरियल निकालना है, वो नंबर इसके लूप काउंट को देंगे. ओके, मल्टीप्लाई के लिए हमने इटरेशन में इंक्रीमेंट किया था, मल्टीप्लाई किया था. ओके, और ऐड के लिए हमने इसी नंबर को, सो 5 का फैक्टोरियल निकालना है, 1 + 2 + 3 + 4 + 5, 1 × 2 × 3 × 4 × 5, ये हमें निकालना था. ओके, अभी इस पर्टिकुलर नंबर को अगर मुझे एरेस पे चाहिए तो, क्योंकि क्या हो रहा था, व्हेन आई रन दिस, यू सी दैट मैंने अगर 5 नंबर दिया है तो देखो किस तरह से चेंज हो रहा था, एडिशन और मल्टीप्लीकेशन। ठीक है, सो डिफरेंट सेट्स ऑफ डेटास आर देयर, both numbers started from 0 and then this number moves to 120, this number moves to 15. How it is moved? Let's create an array. So I will create a factorial array. Go to data containers, select an array. Okay, just drag and drop a numeric indicator. न्यूमेरिक इंडिकेटर लिया, ड्रैग एंड ड्रॉप किया इस एरे में, इसका साइज बढ़ा देता हूं। ओके, and I can stretch it. This is factorial array. Create another array, right click, go to data containers, create an array, drag and drop a numeric indicator. This is addition array. Okay, now I have created a factorial array and addition array. Let's see whether we can find some values or not. See, there are factorial array and there is addition array. So factorial array, I can't connect, just wait. See, because it gives only one value. Put it outside your loop. Addition array, put it outside your loop. Try to connect to this shift register. I can't connect. Then one thing is there. See, there is a concept of tunneling. Okay, so tunneling is basically in the loops. I wanted to teach the tunneling with some array because some knowledge of array is required. Tunneling means whenever any data goes outside the loop, automatically it creates a tunnel. So like this is a factorial line. किसी भी नंबर का फैक्टोरियल निकालना है तो ये वाला लाइन था फैक्टोरियल का। अब ये वाला डेटा मैं एक वायर से लेता हूं, जस्ट टेक अ वायर एंड मेक connect it to edge of this loop, just connect it. You see, there is some square type of structure is being made, and what is written here? Auto index tunnel. Okay, auto index tunnel means a data is tunneled. So just like a register, one by one a data is going through this tunnel to the outside element of a loop. Now I connected here. You see the thickness of wire before this tunnel and after this tunnel. The thickness of wire is single data comes to this tunnel, single data comes to this tunnel and gets accumulated to this factorial array. Now same thing I will do. Take an addition line. This was my addition line. Take from here. Make a tunnel. Automatically a tunnel is there. You move your cursor over here, it shows auto index tunnel, and connect your addition array. See, so this makes your complete program. Okay, now press Ctrl E and run this program. Okay, so see that all the values of factorial 1 multiplied by 1 is 1, then 1 multiplied by 2 is 2, 2 multiplied by 3 is 6, 6 multiplied by 4 is 24, 24 multiplied by 5 is 120, and I have increased more. So last two numbers are 0, 0 because this tunnel, this array contains only 5 elements. These are gray. Okay, if you see properly, then okay, ये ग्रे कलर के रहेंगे, मतलब ये इनिशिएट नहीं हुआ है. Now see here, 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 plus 4 is 10, 10 plus 5 is 15. So this is having a data in a tabular format. Okay, so this example actually contains everything in the sense, you see that there was a loop. We studied about the loop, then we studied about the shift registers. Okay, and then we studied about the auto indexing tunnel and how to put a data in an array. There is a factorial array and there is a addition array. So like this, it becomes a very simple if we want to have a knowledge of a loop, shift registers, and arrays. So see a simple program and see. Normally the factorial of 5 is 120. I know. Okay, when I add 1 to 5, I got a 15. But how the evolution of this data is happening from 1 to 120? It's like this. How this data is getting added up? It's here, 1 to 15. Now let's take this number as let's say 8, or let's say 10. If I keep it 10, factorial is going to be a huge number, but still no problem. Let's run it. Iteration 5, iteration 6. Okay, so 9 iteration, 0 to 9 iteration. I got a sum of the numbers and factor. Now see, the last two number was gray in previous attempt, but there are certain numbers. You want to see other numbers, just expand it from the bottom till you get a 0. See that these are your factorial array and a addition array. And see, this is, we can actually, yeah, this is the correct result. So as such, array can be a table of number of rows. Okay, so there is no problem, very easy to solve. So see, this was a incomplete problem, so actually I made it more meaningful once I added an array structure to this. Okay, now see, these were our simple array 1 and array 2, and we multiplied it. Okay, we can add also, like it's easy, you can do that. So just replace the multiply with an add and you can add. Now second thing, what if I don't want to have an indicator at the output? I want to have something different. Okay, so I just delete this, I want to delete this multiply result. I am deleting it. Okay, I have deleted this number. Let's put everything a positive. So it is +4 +5 and this wire need to be deleted. I deleted this wire. I want to make an indicator of the meters. Okay, an indicator of meters. So how to make an array of meters? Data containers, select an array. Okay, you have selected an array. You can increase its dimension. Now drag and drop a meter inside this array. Right click, go to numeric. You go to numeric and there is a meter. Okay, so second last row में आपको एक मीटर दिख जाएगा. ओके, न्यूमेरिक के अंदर ही है, जहां न्यूमेरिक कंट्रोल न्यूमेरिक इंडिकेटर है वहीं आपको मीटर दिखेगा. जस्ट ड्रैग एंड ड्रॉप कीजिए इस मीटर को इसके अंदर. ओके, नाउ दिस एरे इज ऑफ दिस मीटर. ओके, सो एरे एक एनालॉग इंडिकेटर हो गया है जिसमें सारे डेटा टाइप्स मीटर है. ओके, नाउ स्ट्रेच इट फ्रॉम बॉटम 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so I have stretched it with bottom and see the maximum number is 30 20 35 18. So let's make, I can scale it, select here on 10, I can right here 35. Okay, so all are having a same scale. Okay, so this was the arrays, 5 arrays of meters. So मैंने क्या किया, न्यूमेरिक इंडिकेटर पूरा हटा दिया, अभी उसकी जगह मैंने मीटर ड्रैग एंड ड्रॉप किया. प्रेस कंट्रोल ई. Now connect this meter array. So I will write it here as a just a multiply result. It's a multiply result. Huh? Okay, this is a multiply result. Press Ctrl E. Connect this multiply result to this multiply. See the thickness of wire. Once you are doing an array operation, the thickness of wire automatically increases. Now run this program. Now see, check. 1 into 4 is 4. So first meter is indicating at 4. Second is 18. So between 15 and 20, somewhere here. Third one is 5 multiplied by 7 is 35. So maximum 35. Here 10 multiplied by 2 is 20. So fourth number meter is showing 20. And here 6 multiplied by 5 is 30. The fifth number meter is showing 30. So it becomes a very, very important if you understand the data types and which sort of controls or indicator to drag and drop inside an array. So this is a one case. Now, can we do this the same thing at the analog side also? Okay, let's try that. Press Ctrl E. Now delete this array 1 and array 2. And just delete this array 1 and array 2. These wires deleted, this wire delete. Keep the multiply result as it is. Multiply result as it is. Press Ctrl E. Okay, now I will create two arrays with some different sort of controls. Okay, not necessarily a numeric. Select a data container array. Okay, right here array 1. Now drag and drop. Drag and drop. What you can drag and drop now? Now you can drag and drop a slider. See that in the third row, second column, there is a horizontal pointer slider. Okay, horizontal pointer slider. Just drag and drop inside this. Is done. Okay, I will increase its size. You can zoom it up and stretch it from bottom. Second slider, third slider, fourth slider, fifth slider. Okay, so I have created an array of 5 sliders. Okay, now second thing, I will create a similar array. So देखो, अगर आपको यही चीज बार बार करना है, so जरूरी नहीं है कि उसे हर बार create किया जाए. You can copy and paste also. So LabView provides you an option of copy and paste, but it is bit different. Just select this array. इसके आसपास एक rectangle बना लीजिए अपने माउस से. कर्सर से एक पूरा एक rectangle बना लीजिए. See this highlighted. इसके आसपास के सारा boundary एक highlight होने लगेगा. Okay. Then move to edit. Near file there is an edit. Near file there is an edit. Copy. Now because it is being selected now, it is highlighted. Somewhere you have to click in the front panel. कहीं पे click कीजिए. तो ये आसपास जो इसका selected area है वो चला जाएगा. Now go to edit and paste. See that another array to of similar size dimensions is generated. Okay, now because now maximum number in both the arrays is 10 and 10 multiplied by 10 at the max we can get 100. Our meter is calibrated till 35. So what we do, select any meter near 35, double click and type 100. See, all scalings have changed from 0 to 100. Array 1, array 2, and multiply. Okay, now press Ctrl E. Select an array 2, select an array 1 on the left hand side. Wire it properly to the X input of multiply, array 2 to the Y input of a multiply, and output connect to a multiply result. Okay. Now, one important thing, I don't want this particular thing to run only once. Why? Because I am using a slider, so I will have a free slide for array 1 and array 2, and I should get a result at the meter. That's also in real time in the free slide. So I will put everything inside a while loop. I will put these arrays now inside a while loop. So press Ctrl E, go to structures. In structures, you will find a while loop. Select a while loop across this program. It's done. Okay, now it's done. But of course, the program is going to show you an error. Why? Because we didn't put a condition, a loop termination condition. So that we can keep here. Right click on the loop condition, create a control. A stop button is generated. Let's check whether it's present in the front panel or not. Stop button, press Ctrl E. I get a stop button on the top extreme left. Yeah. Okay. So see that this is our program. There is no need to put a delay. Okay, because this one by one manually we are giving some data. Okay. Now run this program. See that array 2 I am sliding. See the change in first meter. Array 1, okay. Let's see the array 3. Array 4. What about array 5? Yeah, I'm able to see the changes in meter 5. Okay, so see that this operation is continuous. We can change anything, any value, because it's a while loop operation, continuous running while loop operation. Okay. So see that here we have created a control array. Better say 2 control arrays of sliders and 1 indicator array of a meter. And what operation we are trying to display here? We are trying to display a multiply operation. And see, this is very, very easy to actually perform. You can change the scale, you can change the meter values. Okay. So this was the, once I stop this program, yeah. So loop operation automatically stops. See the block diagram? So it's very, very simple. Array 1, array 2, multiply and multiply result, and 1 loop with a stop button. But once you see a front panel, it looks a bit complicated, that so much of programming is involved in that. No, that's not like that. And these array, I can stretch it to 10 multiple times as per my requirement. As per my requirement, I can stretch it. Now this is 8 array and these are 8 meters. Okay. And I run this, give some values. See that. Okay, so as such there is no limit of using a number of input arrays. अगर आप यही चीज बिना array के करते हैं, सपोज आपको 8 स्लाइडर्स का मल्टीप्लाई करना है और 8 मीटर्स पे डिस्प्ले करना है, so it is very hectic job and requires so much wiring, putting a multiply, and takes a lot of time, so it's a time consuming also. And here it's a much more easier once you use an array. Okay, so this was the one sort of example I wanted to explain about array. So this was the analog array. Okay, now talk about the digital array. So go to file, select a new VI. I have selected a now new VI. Okay, now let's create a digital array. Now digital array means what we will do, we will create an array of a switches. Switch means we will create a one array of switch, a push button and something. We will create another array of a switch. Okay, and then we will have some logic operations, gate operations, like a AND gate or XOR gate, NOR gate, okay, NAND gate, like that. And we will have an output on the LEDs. Okay, so just like हमने यहाँ पे sliders बनाए थे, दो arrays के sliders बनाए थे, वहां पर भी switches बनाएंगे. Okay, so now right click, go to data containers, select an array. Okay, let's name it as an array1. And now drag and drop some switch. Right click, go to numeric. Sorry, go to Boolean. Now it's a Boolean. We have to put a switch. We always select this push button. Okay, so not necessarily we put a. Okay, so someone is asking, Anvita madam is asking, can you please explain the purpose of while loop in array? Yes, ma'am. So while loop in an array is because, ma'am, I every time I change the value and I have to run the operations. So suppose if there is no while loop, I change the value of 5, 10 arrays and I run the operation, I get some result. I change the value again and then I run. So I want to get rid of pressing this run button every time. So it's a free slide because of these sliders are a free slide. So every time I wanted to get a continuous output. So that's why I used an run button, just to save a time. Good question, ma'am. Okay, so let's use this. And okay, where was I? Okay, over here. So I created a one array. I have created a one array. Now I will put some switches. Okay, so I will make a digital switches array. Go to Boolean and select any switch. Switch can be of any type. See, these are the horizontal toggle switches are there. Vertical toggle switches are there. Okay, so I can select this. Let's say this. Not this switch, but yeah, we can have a slide switch, a vertical slide switch. I can select this slide switch. Let's select this slide switch. Let's drag and drop, put it over here. Yeah. So like this, on and off we can do. Okay, and we drag it. Let's make the value as 5. So this is an array of 5 switches. Okay, sliding switches. Now I have to create another array. So what I will do, go to data container, select an array, and select some other sort of, go to Boolean, select some other sort of switches, like a vertical slide switch. We can select vertical slide switch. I think we should select the same sort of slide switch, or we can have a push button. Let's select a push button. Push button to stun. then array 2. Okay, just drag it. Okay, so now we are having a array 1 and array 2. Array 1, array 2. Now, what more? We require some indicators. We can create another array. Go to data container, select an array. And this is some operations. Let's say XOR. I will show XOR operation just like last time. Drag and drop an LED. Go to Boolean and drag and drop an square LED. You can put a round LED also, no issue. Now stretch it from bottom, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so like there is an array 1, array 2. Just wait. Meeting now. Can you call me after 5?
Okay, I will call you after 5.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Okay, so now this is an LED of 5 indicators. Okay, so now we can have a control E operation. Now you see that the array 1 and array 2 automatically becomes of the green color, because as such initially they were black. But once we put an LED, once we put in a digital switches, automatically they changes their color. Now what we need to do, we can put an any gate of your choice. Okay, so right click, go to Boolean. In second row, second column, you will find a Boolean, and you can select a gate, logic gate of your choice. I am selecting an exclusive OR. Select an exclusive OR operation. Okay, and connect it to array 1. One output connected to array 2. Connect to n. So here I can write it as XOR result. That looks much better. Okay, now because I want to run it, because I suppose just only once I run it. So suppose let's put all this LEDs in off mode. So this is 0. For this is 0. Now this is 1. First array 1 0 1 0 1. Okay, whatever it is. Okay, and here it is 1 0 0 0 1. I run this. It only third LED is running. Why? Because two high inputs give you a low in XOR, or two low inputs also give you a low in XOR. So जहाँ पे भी 1 0 या 0 1 का combination है वही पे होगा. See, looks bit confusing because ये LED और switches अलग अलग होगा. I will just copy it. I will delete this. I will copy the same array. Go to edit. I will copy, add it, paste. Yeah, so now it looks much better. I will go to block diagram, connect this array over there. Yeah. Now see, it's a 1 1. I put it 1 0. Now it's a 0 1 1 1 0 0. Yeah. Now see, first two are running because it's a 1 0 0 1. Okay, now suppose I put this complete operation inside a loop. So right click, go to structures, go to while loop, put every program inside a while loop, create a stop button. How to create a stop button? Go to loop condition and create a control. Press Ctrl E. See here we obtain a control button. Okay. Now I run it. See that changing the switch position. So I may immediately give me an output. Okay. So see first combination 1 1 is going to give you 0. Here it's a 1 0. So output is 1. Here it's a 0 1. Output is 1. 1 1 is give you 0. And this is also 1 1. Okay. This is, yeah, this is 0 1. That gives you 1. 0 0 will give you 0. So see that we can, it's easy to create a one-dimensional array. Just press this stop button, stop the loop. So you have to go to data containers and then create an array. In that array, drag and drop anything. So we have learned two things. So just like a shift registers, arrays also don't have any data types. Whatever data you put inside that, data means you put an analog type, it takes the analog. If you put a digital, it takes a digital data type. Another thing, an array has to be of the control or indicator. यानी मैं switch और LED को दोनों को साथ में नहीं रख सकता हूँ एक ही array में. Okay? So array या तो controls का रहेगा जैसे switches का, या फिर array रहेगा indicators का जैसे कि LEDs का. Okay? तो array control का हो सकता है, array indicator का हो सकता है, array same type के data का हो सकता है, analog का, digital का और इसका text का. Okay, so this problem was related to text. Okay, now third, go to files, select a new UI. Okay, we can create an array of a string also. Okay, so string means if you know that in C programming we use a string. A string is a one-dimensional array terminated with a null. So you are familiar with a null. Okay, so basically a string is a 1D, one-dimensional array that's terminated with a null. So it's basically a complete one-sided array. Strings are widely used in an array. So whenever you want to do a text related thing, it becomes a very, very easy operation. Now I will show a certain array operations with the string. Okay, so first I will create a string operation. Right click, go to data containers, select an array. Okay, so an array is being selected. You can expand this array. Okay, now put a string indicator inside this string control. Where to find a string control? Right click, see that there is a numeric, there is a boolean, and after that there is a string and path. A string and path is there. Okay, so first row, third column, you can find a string and path in the front panel itself. Select a string control. See that there is a string control, string indicator. Okay, so we select a string control. Just drag and drop this string control inside this array. So this array now becomes of the string. Okay, this array is of the string now. Now in this string you can type anything you want. Okay, anything you want to, it's possible. So you can write some messages, text over here. Okay, now I just expand this string. 1 2 3 4 5. This I keep a 5 string and just zoom it with. Okay, Okay, and we can type a certain thing that this is a LabView FTP. Okay, I can do one thing and Maharashtra, India. I can write a pin. Okay, or anything we can write as the Department of Electronics and Telecommunication. Okay, so there is a text. Okay, there is a text in pipe of this string. Okay, now press Control E. Now see the array has changed its color to pink because now array represents the string. Okay, so we have seen the orange array, we have seen the green array, now we have seen the pink array. So it's a string array. Now more or less because there's no plus minus or logical AND operation we can do, gate operations we can do with this string, but I wanted to show some array operations with this. So now this is the block diagram. Now in this block diagram, right click and go to array. So see that array is at the front also. आप front panel पे भी array देखेंगे, data containers में array. Okay, जब आप block diagram में जाएंगे, press Ctrl E. So near the structures there are array. Okay, and we can have multiple things with these arrays. So many things we can have with these arrays. Okay, for an example, we can have a array size. I want to find out an array size. So first, जैसे ही आप array के अंदर क्लिक करेंगे ब्लॉक डायग्राम में, फर्स्ट रो में आपको array size दिखेगा. Just drag it over here. An array size. Now to see its property, move to your question mark. There is a question mark. You have idea. See this here. Top right पे आपको एक question mark दिखेगा. Okay. Over here you will find a yellow color question mark. Now click on this question mark and move your cursor to array size. It will show its property. What a property does it show? It returns the number of elements in each dimension of an array. Returns the number of elements in each dimension of the array. We connect this to an array. See the wire is showing us an orange. Okay, but once I connect to this array, it turns pink. जहां पे ब्लू कलर का वायर है, राइट क्लिक करो, create a indicator. See, we can create this indicator on the front panel also, but I wanted to create here itself. Okay, so size is here, press Ctrl E. So here I got a one size. Okay, now I run this program. See, it shows the size as 5. Why the size is 5? How many rows are there? If you see, 1 LabView FTP, Thakur College of Engineering, Maharashtra, India, and Department of Electronics and Telecommunication. There are 5 rows, and that's why the size is 5. Suppose I increase another line. Okay, and let's say we can put it as a Kandivali East as our address. Now see, automatically the size becomes 6. So it's totally up to me, how much size I wanted to keep. This particular block, the array size, will keep on calculating the size of an array. Okay, so just delete this, and there's no need for, yeah, fine. Now second thing, go to arrays, see there's an index array. So index array is also very, very important if you want to take out some part of your index. Okay, so index array, I drag and drop. Now what does an index array do? See from the question mark. So index array takes a n-dimensional array, okay, and it gives you the element or sub array. You have to mention that index 0, index 1, you have to mention that towards this on the left. Automatically that element on the right will be displayed. Okay, so here we connect this index array to this pink array. Okay, now on the left hand side there is an index. Okay, on the left hand side there is an index. Right click over there, create a control. So it has created a one control of that index. Okay, now on the right it shows the element. So right click over there, create a indicator. Okay, so what I did, say this is an index array. There's an array. I have connected with a index, or from the input and output I have created a one indicator. So left side में एक numeric control बनाया है और right side में एक numeric indicator बनाया है. आप ये front panel पे भी बना सकते हैं, but just left click कीजिए, right click create a control, तो index आ जाएगा. Right click कीजिए, create a indicator, तो element आ जाएगा. Now press Ctrl E. Okay, now it shows that there is an index and there is a element. So there is an index and this is the element. Let me zoom it. Okay, so suppose this is the index 0. I want to see the value of index 0. I run it. See, index 0 is labview FTP. I increase this value, index 1. Now let's see. It shows Thakur College of Engineering, Mumbai. Okay, what about index 2? Maharashtra. I increase the index 3. It's India. And index 4, that's all we have. Is Department of Electronics and Telecommunications. So this is like a sorting of a particular index. You can sort it out which index you want, which particular data you want to have. What's more, go to arrays. Okay, a replace array subset. So actually we can have a subset as replace. Okay, so this is also important. Now this I select this replace array subset. आपको ये पहले हमने array size देखा array के अंदर, फिर index array देखा, अब हम देख रहे हैं replace subset array. Okay, what does it do? See that from the left hand side, question mark, n-dimension array. We will give it a string array. But what will happen here? We will mention the index mention करेंगे, and new element that needs to be put, and automatically here we will have an output array. So that element will be replaced. जो भी अगर index 0 है, index 1 है, that particular element will be replaced. Now let's try this. Okay, we give an index. Let's connect it to the same index. Why should we have a multiple index? Okay, here new element or a subarray. So right click, we can in the new element or subarray we can right click and we can have a create a control, a new element or a subarray. And here on the right hand side, we can have a create an indicator. Output array automatically, see that there's one output array being generated over here. Okay, now suppose I want to replace something. So suppose I want to replace labview FDP is the wrong word. So it's a labview programming and hardware interface. So I want to replace this with okay, let it keep it as it is. Let it keep as it is labview FDP. Now in the index, this labview FDP belongs to index 0. This is Thakur College index 1, Maharashtra 2, India 3, Department of ENTC number 4. So I select here index 0. Okay, and a new element. Here this is a new element. A new element, I put it as a, like I wanted to put as LabView programming and hardware interface. Okay, so you understand the meaning of this particular program, that in this particular program, what I am trying to achieve, that index 0 should be targeted. What should be the new element? A new element should be a LabView programming and hardware interface. So whatever is at LabView FDP at index 0, that should be replaced with this thing. Okay, so just wait. Is there any indication of number at left side of array? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. That sort of the 0 indexing shows it's a one-dimension array. Okay, if I increase it, then automatically goes to a two-dimensional. That I will show with my next program. What is the meaning of this array? Okay, now I run this. Now see, the LabView FDP is being replaced with LabView programming and hardware interface. Okay, and if you see that other stuff is same. Okay, now suppose I increase the index number 1. So that is Thakur College of Engineering. That will be replaced with LabView programming and hardware interface. I run this program. Okay, I switch to index number 2. The third element, Maharashtra, is being replaced by LabView programming and hardware interface. Now fourth element is being replaced, and now the fifth element is being replaced with whatever new element or subarray we wanted to put. So it's like we can't have a arithmetic operation with the strings, but we can have so many a meaningful array indexing and other stuffs. Apart from that, if like those who belongs to a communication engineering, okay, so telecommunication engineering, many times we deals with the transmission of data, whether it's a text, voice, audio, video, image. In that case, a text processing is very, very important. Suppose you write a message that, hello, how are you? You want to transmit it with a laser or an antenna. How you are going to do it? You have to digitize that data. Okay, that hello, how are you, good morning, that has to be digitized. And in that case, those words, those letters has to be converted to their ASCII codes. Okay, so every ASCII codes are being generated for those particular letters, and those ASCII codes are nothing but a Boolean, 8-bit Boolean streams. Okay, a digitized streams of ones and zeros. So those 8-bit streams are being then transmitted via that antenna or via that laser in an optical fiber. So this is how we do in telecommunication engineering. So it's not we just play with the text. So we require a string operations for meaningful transmission of our data. So that's why string is very, very important. You can put anything on your any message you can type, and that text that message will be converted to its digital logic, and then we can do a lot of digital image digital processing, and then finally reception at a certain antenna or a photodiode. Okay, so this see that program is nothing but it's a very, very simple program is there. Okay. Yeah. So someone is asking about the significance of this zero. Okay, जितने भी आपने जीरो बनाए, जितने भी आपने अभी तक एरेज बनाए, उसके लेफ्ट साइड में एक जीरो लिखा हुआ है, तो उसका सिग्निफिकेंस क्या है? इफ यू पुट इट 1, दिस शोज इंडेक्सिंग दैट दिस एरे स्टार्ट्स विद जीरो इंडेक्स. ओके, सपोज आई इंक्रीज इट टू 1, सो सी दैट अ जीरो इंडेक्स चला गया है. ओके, सो नाउ फर्स्ट इंडेक्सिंग से ये एरे स्टार्ट हो रहा है. नाउ इफ आई इंक्रीज द इंडेक्सिंग टू 2, so 0 indexing or 1 indexing gaya. Okay, now I'm using a second indexing. So this is number 3. So like that. So 5th is nothing. No indexing is here. So normally a 0 on the left signifies the index number. What is the index number? Okay, so like that also you can select indexing of a particular array. Now next, let's select the two-dimensional arrays. Now two-dimensional arrays are very, very important. See, a text signal processing is let's wait. Yeah, so text signal processing is also important, but let's try to make a two-dimensional array. Now press F5, go to File, select a new array. Okay, so I have selected a new VI. Now in this VI, try to create a two-dimensional array. Now how to create a two-dimensional array? See that for this I have to make a separate example, but that's not a bit difficult. Okay. Let's create a 2D array. Now how to create a 2D array? Right click, go to data containers. Okay, once you go to data containers, select an array. Same process we have to follow. Select an array. Done. Okay, once array you have created. Now drag and drop certain switches to it. So what I will do, go to Boolean, and in this Boolean I will select this push button. Just select this push button, drag and drop over here. Okay, now this becomes an array of a switch. Okay, so I will just increase this switch. Okay, now what? Many participants will ask that, sir, I am able to make this switches in a one-dimensional, in a horizontal way. That's also possible. See, you can drag it like this. Okay, कोई फर्क नहीं है. आप इसको horizontally drag कर सकते हैं या फिर आप इसको vertically drag कर सकते हैं, बट ये रहेगा one dimensional array ही. ओके, जैसे आपका स्पेस मैनेजमेंट है. ओके, मुझे 3 एरेस के साथ काम करना था, तो मुझे तीनों को या तो हॉरिजॉन्टली बनाना था या तीनों को वर्टिकल बनाना था. तो जैसे भी आपका स्पेस मैनेजमेंट है, like that you can select these arrays. Now this becomes a one dimensional array. Now see that on the left hand side there is a 0. Okay, now there is a 0 on the left hand side. You just expand this 0 from the bottom. यहाँ पे आपका कर्सर ले जाइए. Okay, now place it near to this 0 and just expand it from the bottom. So there are 2 zeros. Okay, there should be two index zeros. Now just select this switches, and any side you will see you started obtaining a multiple switches arrays. Did you understand how to make it? Okay, so I will show once again. See that this is one switch array. How did I do it? Just go to data container, select an array. अब इस array के अंदर एक boolean switch drop कीजिए. Okay, right click. Put a switch. Okay, just increase its size. Okay, now ये जो जीरो आपको साइड में दिख रहा है, okay, इसको जस्ट नीचे से ड्रैग कीजिए ताकि एक और इंडेक्स जीरो क्रिएट हो. Just drag it from left. Okay, drag it towards the bottom. Another zero is being created. Now, just expand its dimension. And now you can expand it horizontally as well as the vertically. It's totally up to you. Okay, so this is the creation of a two-dimensional array. Okay. Now, any operation we want to perform, we can perform any operation. So we can perform a logical gate operations, but we also require to have a two-dimensional LEDs. Now we want to have a two-dimensional LED. So let's create those LEDs. Let's create those LEDs from your block diagram. Okay. Press Control E. Press Control E. Yeah. So here there are two arrays, array 1 and array 2. Now we will do some logical gate operations. Let's select a boolean, and in the boolean select an AND operation. Let's select an AND operation. Okay, connect it. Now see the thickness of the wires. Thickness of wire is much thicker because it's a digital. Now if you want to create an indicator, either we can do on the front panel कि यही चीज हम जीरो को expand करके एक LED drop करके फिर उसको LED को horizontal और vertical stretch कर सकते हैं. But here I press right click, move your cursor towards the output of AND gate, X and Y लिखा है. Right click कीजिए, create an indicator. Just create an indicator. To see that automatically X and Y का एक indicator बन गया. You double click here. See, this is a small indicator. You can increase the size. One, two, three, four, five. And here there is 3. Okay, so now we have created a one indicator. So see that sometimes it's become much easier to do a programming on the block diagram, because here the complete indicator, LED indicator, two dimension I have created by just right clicking, create an indicator. Go to create and create an indicator. So automatically two dimension is created. Now just run this program, nothing is remaining. Now I run this program. See that the AND operations is wherever I will find a 2 high, I will get a output as high. So 1 1 gives me high, 1 0 0 1 0 0 all gives me low. So see that here second row, these two are high, so these two are high. This one is high, this one is high, so this one is high. Now Better thing, put this loop, put everything inside a loop, right click, go to structures, while loop. I have created its while loop, and create a stop button, create a control. Okay. Yeah. Now run. Then I change the switch position. Everything is high. Okay. Now one by one, I will stop certain switches. 1 multiplied by 0 is 0. This is the advantage of using a loop. Every time I don't have to press a run button. Everything is 0. Okay. So this is our operation. So see that two-dimensional array operations are very much possible, and it's very easy also. Because I don't think so there is a any difference between much difference between a one dimension और two dimension. Two dimension में आपको बस ये zero को नीचे से stretch करना पड़ेगा. हाँ. Now you will ask, sir, how to define an indexing? See, this is a tricky question. How to define an indexing? Now you are having a rows as well as the columns. Okay. पहले क्या था आपका वन डायमेंशनल एरे, या तो हॉरिजॉन्टल था, एक रो में था, या फिर एक कॉलम में था, वर्टिकल था. अभी कैसा है कि एक टू डायमेंशनल एरे, either you can have to consider a row or column. So 0 0 0 1, so just like a matrix. So matrix defined as a0 0 a10 a12 a13 like that. So then you have to see the index number on the left and you have to see the output. This operation was a two-dimensional array operations. Okay, so let's stop this. So similarly, you can create an array of numeric indicators, some numbers multiplication, and you can do. So this operation is like arrays are very much similar to matrices. Okay, so if you have a matrix operation in mind, then these two-dimensional arrays are very well suited for your matrices. Although LabView already contains the mathematical library of matrices, but using a two-dimensional array also gives you the same result. Okay, so very simple program is there in the block diagram. So this was the array operations, and array to matrix one function is also there. Okay. Now arrays are done, registers are done. Let's do some operations on clusters. Now, what is a cluster? Go to file, select a new VI. Okay, so clusters kya hai? Like we all are faculties and we know that we have a branch cluster or a subject cluster is there, a domain cluster is there. So like we see a cluster of communication engineering. In communication engineering, we have an optical fiber communication, microwave communication, satellite communication, mobile communication, multiple advanced communication, digital communications. Okay, so multiple subjects comes under that particular cluster. Okay, many times the cluster is defined for a branch. Okay, so cluster is as such, there is a possibility that a particular data set may not belong to each other. Okay, but still we make a cluster of it. So for an example, we right click and you see that go to data containers. Okay, so just besides the array you will find a cluster. यहाँ पे array है आपका और इधर ही आपका cluster रहेगा. Okay, so clusters को drag and drop कीजिए. Okay, now this is a cluster. इसका भी एक arrow के जैसा एक gray shallow window रहेगा, but this exactly shows a complete different type. I will show, just expand it. Okay, so I have created a window for a cluster. Now in this cluster, you can keep a data of different types. And either you can keep a analog data, you can keep a digital data type, you can have a string data type, and you can have a complete one cluster for belonging to your one data set. So now suppose I want to create a numeric indicator. So I go to numeric control, go to numeric and go to numeric control, put this numeric indicator. A numeric control is there. So I can put a number like a 25. Okay. Now second, I can put some digital switches. So go there, select a push button, go to Boolean, select a push button. And I can also create a text. So I can go to string and path. So numeric, Boolean, string and path, and I can select a string control. And we can write a certain text like a okay. So now you see that I have created as such. हम अभी तक क्या करते थे कि एक एरे में एक ही तरह का डेटा टाइप रखते थे, क्योंकि एरे दूसरा डेटा टाइप ले ही नहीं सकता. But now see, I have created one array, one cluster that has an analog, digital, and string, three sorts of data type, and it is called as one cluster. Press Ctrl E. See that its color, it has all the colors, the blue, pink, orange, everything is in this particular block. Inside this, there's so many colors, and one cluster. Program doesn't show any error also. So one particular cluster. So many times what happened that our biodata is can be considered as a cluster, because there are a lot of text, there are a lot of digital information, there's a lot of numbers are there, analog information is there, like your Aadhaar card. Okay, your Aadhaar number is a numeric number. Okay, suppose there is some digital link is there, so that's a digital. Okay, then certain text is there, your name, your name is there, your address is there, so that is a text. So when a government has a your cluster, that means it contains a numeric, Boolean, as well as string related data. Okay, of course they will have your fingerprints, biometrics, they will have your image, but a cluster is created like this. So one cluster belongs to one particular individual or one particular experiment. So what we do when we perform any experiment, so related to that, all information is stored in one cluster, because at that time we don't think of a data types. We just wanted to have a particular information being stored or being represented in terms of a cluster. So this is a one cluster. Okay, now I can create another cluster also. Okay, so here I can create another cluster, but here I will create a cluster of an indicators. So I right click, go to data operations, data containers. In the data containers, I can select a cluster. Okay, so we have created one cluster. Now here there is a numeric indicator. Here I can put a numeric control is there. Here I can put a numeric indicator. Go to numeric, select a numeric indicator. Just drag and drop. Okay, now there is a Boolean. I can put an LED. Go to Boolean, select a LED. Here there's a string control. Okay, here I can put a string indicator. Go to string and path, select a string indicator. Okay, so cluster 2 is created. Cluster 1 is created for all analog digital string in controls. Cluster 2 is analog digital and string indicators. Now press Control E. Just connect these two clusters, cluster 1, cluster 2. See, the wire is also pink. Okay, so as such, doesn't specify a data of string. Cluster actually, if you see in this block, so many colors are there. So many colors are there. So actually, it indicates all sorts of colors. Now press Control E and run this program. See that numeric is being reflected, a boolean is on. So this is an hello, good afternoon is being copied. Okay, suppose I write here, hello, it's raining. And here I turn off the switch, right on here 30. So the same thing is being reflected. So this is the cluster. So we have arrays, clusters, structures, and registers. So today we have seen the registers, then we have seen the arrays. Now we are doing the clusters. Okay, so this is all about clusters. As such, certain operations are there, but more or less the operations are similar to arrays. But see that there is no difference, no error in this particular program. Okay. एरे में अगर आप यही तीनों चीजें साथ में रखेंगे तो वो एक्सेप्ट ही नहीं करेगा, एक ही डेटा टाइप लेगा और उसमें भी कंट्रोल या इंडिकेटर. यहाँ पे ऑफ कोर्स कंट्रोल क्लस्टर रहेगा या इंडिकेटर क्लस्टर रहेगा, लेकिन डिफरेंट डेटा टाइप्स पॉसिबल. ठीक है. नाउ यू वांट टू सेपरेट इट आउट. how to separate these clusters? Now see that normally in LabView programming, this term is called as a bundle. Okay, bundle is like you gather something and you make a bundle of that. So there's a bundling and unbundling, two particular terms being defined. Right click on your block diagram, go to cluster class variants, cluster class and variants. So first row, okay, first row, third column, you will find a cluster class and variants. So see that there's an unbundle, there's a bundle. Okay, this is a build cluster array, cluster to array, array to cluster. So many things are there. Now suppose I want to unbundle it, unbundle. Okay, so I have selected unbundle. I want to unbundle anything, so I will connect it to this wire. Okay, now at the output you see it is showing me 3 inputs. One is orange, one is green, and one is pink. Did you see? So suppose I selected here clusters class, I selected unbundle. See that it's complete black. Okay, even if I stretch it from bottom, it's complete black and only 2 outputs. Once I connect it to this, you see orange, green, and pink appeared. Cancel this. Okay, now move to orange in there and right click, create an indicator. This is the numeric. Move to boolean, right click, create an indicator. This is a boolean. Move to pink one, right click, create an indicator. This is the string. Now run this program. To see that there is a numeric, boolean, and string. I run this program. See, a number 30, LED is on, and my message, hello, it's raining, is being displayed. So this is how we unbundle, unbundling in the cluster. And the same thing we can apply and we can bundle these clusters. Okay, so press Ctrl E. In the structure, there is a bundle. So bundle में आप क्या करेंगे? तीनों तरह के डेटा टाइप्स को इनपुट देंगे और एक क्लस्टर आपका आउटपुट बंडल बन जाएगा. So unbundle by name and bundle by name. So mostly what we do, in a like you want to represent a particular data, like on the first day of the FDP, we have made an alarm system ki when a tank level goes above 70, then a LED should glow, and that. So there are certain data related to that. So then we can create a bundle ki हाँ उसमें buzzer बज रहा है, number more than 70 है, or alarm please evacuate. We can write down a message. So everything comes as a bundle. Okay. The use of a bundling in this particular, just wait, some message is there. We can make a cluster to as control panel. Yes, it's possible. We can make a cluster to a control panel. We can operate it as a control panel. But mostly these are nothing but some controls and indicators. They are bundled. Okay. अगर आपको एक क्लस्टर को कंट्रोल पैनल बनाना है तो उसके लिए भी एक टैब कंट्रोल और केस स्ट्रक्चर से अलग अलग केसेस के लिए वो भी हम यूज कर सकते हैं. या बट इट इज अ गुड ऑब्जर्वेशन दैट we can create a cluster as a one control panel also. Okay, so we can separate it out, and we can have a see that these three particular elements are separated out: numeric, analog, analog, digital, and text. Okay. What's more, in clusters, class, and variants, there is a bundle, unbundle by name, and a bundle by name. Okay, so it's just to give you the names related stuff. Then bundle also is possible. Yeah, so we can bundle, and so I will just show here new VI. Let's create a one numeric indicator. Create a one thermometer. There is a thermometer. I can create a one LED as well. I can create a, let's say, a meter. Yeah, I want to make a, let's yeah, I want to make a bundle of these three things. So I press Control E. Go to cluster, and I want to use a bundle. Oh, these are indicators. Just wait. One switch is there. One slider is there. And one string control. Okay, now connect these three. This is bundle. We can connect these three: orange, green, and pink. Automatic takes a data. So normally कभी भी हम तीनों को combine करने का नहीं सोच सकते किसी भी programming में. But labview provides you to form them a bundle, and on the right click, just right click, create an indicator. Automatic a cluster is being formed. See, there's a one cluster. Run this. See that LED is on with the switch. Hello, how are you is being written, and this value is showing 8.921. Okay, so whatever the value, if I run continuously, then you see the values are being changed on this slide. Okay, LED operations is also there, and whatever is written is being reflected. So this is like a three different sorts of arrays are there. ये एक न्यूमेरिक कंट्रोल है, ये एक डिजिटल कंट्रोल है और ये एक स्ट्रिंग कंट्रोल है. तीनों को हमने एक बंडल में किया और राइट वी कैन डू अ प्रोग्राम. So it's more useful once you finish your programming, then everything is bundled out. And mostly in the LabView, the clusters are also used for giving you a warning of the error. You have connected a different data types. You have done something wrong with your program. So whenever you press a run button, you get some error. Oh, this is wrong, that is wrong. So how do that this carry out this particular operation? Because there is a string related stuff in that cluster. So जब भी कोई error आता है, जब भी कोई error आता है आपकी programming में, वो जो text message है वो display होता है. Okay, so they have made a cluster कि अगर इस तरह का error है तो ये text message display होगा. Okay, इस तरह का warning sign on होगा. So mostly errors में ये देता है, warning signs में आपका clusters use होता है. और finally आपको पूरा आपका file save करके रखना है. So this is easier. So this was all about the clusters here. Okay. So we have seen the arrays, one-dimensional array, two-dimensional arrays, and now we have seen the clusters also. In structures, we have seen a for loop, while loop. Now there's a key structure is remaining, key structure and event structure. Apart from that, the structures are done. Arrays completely we have done. Clusters, yeah, bundles, unbundles, index, that's all we have done till now. Numeric operations, most of these operations are completed. Boolean logic gate operations we have seen. String length, yeah, these things also. Now the next class, I believe that we can start with the key structures and a signal processing programming. So from the next class onwards, you will see a lot of graphs charts. So next class, I will start with a V-form graph, V-form chart. Okay, and then we will see a lot of signal processing. So one by one, I will show about the key structure, a tab control. Yes, just wait. So can you show one example of index and bundle cluster array? Index and bundle cluster array. Just wait, where it is. Okay, how to index a two-dimensional array? Just wait. Okay, this index and bundle cluster array. This one you are saying. Okay. It exactly decides that array of X, array of Y, and there is a array of clusters. So we can make an array over here. Okay, so where to find this index and bundle cluster array? Right click in cluster class variant, and here we can see cluster class and variants में second row में हमें ये मिल सकता है. Okay, index and bundle cluster array. Now you can create a multiple arrays over here. So here I will try to create a certain arrays on the front panel. So go to data container, select an array. One array I have created. We'll go to data containers and select an array. The two arrays I have created. Try to couple it over here. Yeah, see that green and orange both are done over here. Right click, array of clusters, create an indicator. Okay, so see that here I have used the index of bundle and cluster array. This function you will find in the clusters class variants in second, index and bundle cluster array. Okay, so I have created one array of this analog inputs. I have created another array of this switches, and then automatically you right click over here, create a indicator. So it gives you the array of clusters and run this program. See that you get all the values of all the corresponding arrays. Okay, so just check करो हर इंडेक्स पे आपका corresponding numeric value है. There are 6 clusters. So उस पे 1 to 6 नंबर है. पहले दो switch on है. Okay, first 2, then 4th, and then 6th. So 1, 2, 4, and 6 are on. 3 and 5 are off. Okay, so this is a example, sir. So I think LabView actually gives you a lot of help files, so we can easily do that. So here actually I try to create 2 arrays. इससे पहले क्या कर रहा था कि एक इंडिविजुअल डेटा था और अभी मैंने 2 arrays बनाए दोनों को या और ऑटोमेटिकली क्लस्टर ऑफ array ऑफ क्लस्टर्स में ये सब प्लेस हो गया. बहुत सिंपल है. अगर मैं इन सबको ऑन करता हूँ, यहाँ पे मैं -5 10 100 टाइप करता हूँ, so that automatically the values are changed. So basically we can create an array of clusters also. Okay, so we can create an array of clusters, but is it a clusters of arrays is possible? We have to see a clusters of arrays. So yeah, so array of clusters and clusters of arrays both are possible. So yeah, it's already now around 4. So any someone is asking that how to index 2-dimensional array. So I think this was the this 2-dimensional array is also possible. You can stretch it from below and then you can have. Okay, two-dimensional array in this case, suppose take a data containers arrays. Okay, some numbers are there. That if I change the indexing, here first number is 1, second row, if I change the indexing, it has shifted to 1. Okay, so it's like a first row, first column. The 1 was placed at first row. If I place, it's second row, first column. The 1 number is now changed to second row, first column because 1 shows the second interval and 0 is 1. So एरेज में कैसा है कि 0 को हम फर्स्ट बोलते हैं. अगर आपको 10 तक जाना है तो 0 से 9 तक जाएंगे. So if it is 0, 0 0 means first row, first column. So this number is there. Now 0 1, that means first row, second column. So automatically 1 is over here. First row, third column. So like this, we can actually have an indexing. So that means I'm not interested in the other rows and columns. Discard other rows and columns. Those numbers which is not there, we can discard them. And suppose these sort of matrix is there. So we can decide about the number of rows and number of columns. So see the first one actually decides the number of rows. कितनी rows हो सकती है? The second one decides the number of columns. Okay, so no column is also an option. So like that you try. It's very similar to matrix. Very similar to a matrix, and you can take out a particular data also. You want a particular row and particular column data, you can give its indexing number and you can take out that particular element. So I hope I have answered your query. Okay, so if anything, any doubt is there for today's session, please ask me, because today we do a more of fundamental related stuff. Fundamental related stuff means lot of loop operations, then arrays, one-dimension array, two-dimension arrays, clusters. Okay, so a lot of fundamental operations and some different data types we have tried. So tomorrow is like we are going to start with the graphs, charts and graphs, and so many attractive graphs are there. See, there is a V-form chart, V-form graph, XY graph, intensity chart, intensity graph. Then there is a three-dimensional graphs. And tomorrow, from tomorrow onward, we will start playing with the data. So data in the sense, we will start playing with the V-forms. So many sine, gram, square waveforms will come. A digital waveform graphs will come. So that's going to be very, very interesting from tomorrow onwards. So tomorrow onwards, you will have a flavor of a signal processing. So exactly how this tool is very, very much important for a signal processing, because now we have seen a lot of arrays, clusters, and loop operations. So tomorrow I will try to do a lot of signal processing operations, because I don't like to teach a VForm graphs and chart as such a separate topic. I create a case, I create a problem statement, and accordingly I show that which sort of charts and which sort of graph is more important or more useful in this particular scenario. Okay, so that's what we will like to do. Sonia, madam,
yes, sir.
over to you. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful session. We are eagerly waiting for tomorrow's session. So I request all the participants to join tomorrow by 10:20. We'll be starting sharp at 10:30. Thank you all. Have a good day.
Thank you, madam.